Thank you very much, Michael. Nick, what can the insurance sector, I'm talking here insurance, we're talking also takaful sector, do together to address the concerns that Michael have raised? It definitely will affect the profitability, and if with the introduction of regulations by obviously by the appropriate regulators, this is going to put more pressure on the capital of the insurance companies.
It certainly does, and I agree that the pricing at the moment is only down to capacity and down to competition in the market, and not due to any technical rates. And I agree also that I don't think what's happening right now, the unrest, is going to change any of that. Rather, I think, like Michael says, that once capacity gets reduced, then we then see a recovery of price. But as a primary insurer, and we still we manage our risks conservatively. We of course make heavy use of reinsurance. What it possibly would mean going forward is that we may start to retain them.
Okay. I think with the retention more means that your assessment of risks and your tolerance for risks will have to be measured in a more robust way. I'm not talking necessarily about Tazur, I'm talking about the general insurance sector.
Of course, I mean, if you retain more, then you need to know much more what you're doing, and you need to have the in-house expertise to properly underwrite.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I think we will open the floor for questions. Any questions? I have a question right here. Right here.
Thank you very much. This is Mazen Abu Shakra from January. I was listening with interest to the discussion. I don't have a particular point to any particular person in the audience, but in the panel. But always we hear in the Middle East that we blame the reinsurer, and it's becoming something which is, constantly saying reinsurer comes to town and they destroy the market, and it's their mistake or their fault. And I think, and you said something, Michael, that someone in Zurich may not understand what's happening in Beirut or in Doha or in Bahrain. There is some, maybe, truth to that, but at the end of the day, there is lack of data bank or statistics in the MENA region due to the lack of implementation of international standards. And we discussed yesterday with the panel about regulators, input to this. So in absence of statistics and transparency and reporting, whether you're sitting in Zurich or in Bermuda or wherever, it's very difficult to assess the risk appropriately and to understand it and to be able to tackle it. So it's not the mistake of the reinsurer. I mean, there are some reinsurers who are playing, yesterday I put on my slide, we call them the happy rees, that they do, they think everything is fine and they want to get the volume. But now there are reinsurers, and as a matter of fact, I represent one of them, who we tried in the market, and I think some of the people in the audience know that. We used to be one of the largest reinsurers in the market, in the Arab market, and we got out on the non-life side due to the fact that we were trying to implement measures that will circumvent certain volatility in the underwriting and technicalities. So when the reinsurer comes to town and discusses technicalities, he's automatically squeezed out. So, and he leaves the area or the arena to others who are coming to, to compete on the top line. So I think there must be a measure to go think about bottom line and go back to technicalities, and all of us, coordinate to build statistics and data banks and ask the regulators to also collect the data in order to better understand and address the challenges that plays ahead, whether it's war or learn from our Lebanese experience or whatever, and in all these issues. But, we cannot blame all the time a reinsurer or whatever coming to the market and spoil it. So, can you make any comment?
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't think you can be the regulators. Again, another topic that we hear over and over. I think as an industry, we should have an interest to build a database. We started the company up 2008, and we tried to find information on data, and you get some kind of information, but then after a while you find out that it's not regulators, I think if capital requirements, risk-adjusted capital models would be introduced, that would certainly help. You wouldn't rely on the regulator doing that. There's a few regulators in the region here, in the broader region, who are taking their task and responsibility very serious, and they're trying to catch up with international financial marketplaces to get there. But I think it shouldn't be the regulators that push us to go there. It should be a desire from the companies to manage the risks and the business properly. Because otherwise, you just, as an insurance company or a reinsurance company, one fine day you find out that you're actually not making money. And that's not a good thing to happen. I think you should be aware of where the markets go. Are my products really profitable? If one product is not profitable, what do I do to correct it? And what would be the other new products that we could get into? What we've seen in this region here over the last couple of years is growth, but not a lot of development. It's the same products, and it's only about top line and increasing it. But really a development in analyzing the business, looking at the individual products and finding ways of managing these exposures more properly, we haven't really seen that. I think that's where we need to catch up. Sometimes I wish the regulators would do more, but I wouldn't really.
Our understanding is that the regulators are now, from our interaction with them and recent meetings, is that they are gathering tons of data, and they have a lot of ways to provide strong intelligence to the general marketplace. Now, whether they will do that actually is something else. I know they have been seeking information, and they will be seeking more information in a more sophisticated way through technology. But what comes out of it, I'm not sure. We will have to wait and see on this one. You know, strictly from a business perspective, I have a point or a question relating to whether the sanctions on Iran will create opportunities for MENA reinsurers. And I think as things develop, you know, we have maybe some other countries like Syria maybe that would be also listed. Does that realistically create opportunities for the MENA reinsurers in a reasonable way? Would you like to comment, Aftab, or the insurers?
Again, as I said, like with my experience, I see that the assets which are here, and mobile asset or I'm talking about American asset, the ownership belongs to outside, it comes from outside of Iran, but still it goes in Iranian water, the other side of the water. And then when it comes to some eventualities, then I see there is a decline because the regulator, they come in between, and then there are sanction clauses which affect this. And so in terms, I'm seeing like, you know, when it comes to a major opportunity which is lying across the water, and then we have to decline some time for the cause that these vessels are working for a project which has to travel across the water, and then this again, that's why this is a question again from the reinsurance perspective, how they foresee